What's going on, guys? Coach Colin here. Somebody was asking me, what do I actually coach? I'm a high performance coach, and I actually do a lot of habit formation. So I help people, get out of ruts. I help people form great habits that can move them forward in life, because your habits are the building blocks of who you will become. So every day you see what you do daily, you have to ask yourself, who are you building yourself into? So other than that, you already know what this podcast is. I watch podcasts. I watch them voraciously. I pull out the gems, and I have one for you today. It's Jocko Wilink's podcast. If you don't know who Jocko Willink is, he's an absolute beast. Definitely subscribe to his podcast. And he's interviewing Mr. Cameron Hanes. This is episode 334. He's interviewing Mr. Cameron Hanes, who is also an absolute beast. Cameron Hanes is a bow hunter, one of the best in the world, works tremendously hard, and he comes from very humble beginnings. Forms of child abuse, just growing up straight up alcoholic from what I could tell in the story that he tells. If you listen to the book, which I have, his book's called Endure, he switched it all around, man. Very similar to David Goggins' story. He was shitty, and he just said, you know what, I'm going to switch it up and I'm going to become something. And he started running a marathon a day from not being able to run 1 mile. That's 26 miles if you're unfamiliar. Just thought that this message right now is something that a lot of people can benefit from. It's Jocko Willink's reading the closing passage of Cameron Hanes' book, Endure. Again, if you don't know either of these gentlemen, follow them. Follow them both. They both have YouTube channels. Jocko has a podcast, and Cameron Hanes has been on the Joe Rogan podcast, Jocko's podcast, and many others. Check them both out. Let's get into the clip. I wasn't recording last time. This is like my third time doing this. How crazy is that?
With one section here. Towards the end of the book, you say, many years ago, I decided I was going to work hard every day on being the very best bow hunter I could be. Along with taking care of my family, that is my purpose in life. Everything I do is prioritized around this drive and this dream. I start at 5 a.m. and finish at 8 p.m. every day. I give it my best. I have gratitude for the gifts and opportunities I am given. I enjoy the journey. Steve Prefontaine was right. To give anything less than your best is to sacrifice the gift. That's exactly how I look at it. Bow hunting can be a struggle. It's hard and very competitive. It can be very cutthroat, but so can life. Life can be tough and beat us down. We experience loss, a loved one or a family member or a job or a dream. We battle our own demons and dependencies. We all take hits and get beaten down. That's when we have choices to make. Only you can choose not to hesitate. Only you can keep moving. Only you can climb over snow and ice and tough footing and steep, rugged country. What dream do you hold that you're not going to let go of? If I can do it, anyone can. But you will have to earn it. You will have to endure. You will have to keep hammering.
Man, I think that's such a important message. You're going to have to earn it. You're going to have to keep hammering. You're going to have to keep working. And the things that you really want in life are going to be really hard to attain. Myself, I've overcome drug addiction. I've lived quite a life of the underworld, I guess you could say, career criminal type, until I was 28 years old. And in order for me to change and form into a new person, it was very, very hard. Letting go a lot of people, letting go a lot of ways of being, letting go of drugs. It was all really hard, but it was all so much for the better when I was on the other side of it. So if anybody else is going through something that's tremendously hard for you, but you have a vision of who you could be if you just got through it, hold on to that vision. Hold on to it as tight as you can and keep seeing it every day, and just keep going through what you're going through every single day, and there will be there will be a reward at the end of it. It's again, like he said in this closing chapter, it's really hard, but it's so worth it. And just a little more about Cameron Hanes, like I said, he's like one of the best bow hunters in the world. He did all that while he had a full-time job. A lot of the times, and I've been one of those people for so long, it's like, oh, it's easy for you to say. It's like, you're in the military. Like, you know, some guys like David Goggins, it's like, you're getting paid, you're in the military, and you can like say like, oh, you're getting paid. You don't have to worry about a shitty job like I do. And I used to be that kind of person. Or you look at Joe Rogan, you go, you're a millionaire. Like, yeah, of course you work hard every day. Like, you have millions of dollars. I would too. Like, the whole time Cameron Hanes was becoming the best bow hunter in the world, he had a full-time job, like a factory job, like a regular job. And so for something like 25 years, he like never missed a day. And I'm talking about he would be on a podcast like this with a famous person and do this podcast and then get on a plane again and go back home, go to sleep, wake up and go to his job. Then Joe Rogan would be like, hey, you want to be on the podcast? Work his job. Weekend would come, go be on the show, go back home, go to sleep, and then go back to his job. Like, it's just a tremendous inspiration, and it puts away all of our excuses of like, yeah, wouldn't it be nice? It's like he worked really hard to get into the position that he's in. And I think only this year, since he dropped that book, I think he just retired from that job after like 26 years. And I only say all that to say, like, you know, not to put anybody down, but it's more to lift people up, because it's like, you could do that too. You could 100% do that too. You have a job right now and you have a thing that you want to become or a thing that you want to do. You can do both. You can. But like you said in that passage, it's going to be really hard. It's going to be hard, but it's worth it. It is worth it. Not only for what you get at the end of it when you're pursuing something, but for the person that you become at the end of it. Again, this was the Jocko Willink's podcast, episode 334 with Mr. Cameron Hanes. And that little part there, if you want to hear it again, you can, of course, rewind this video, or you can go to his podcast, drop a like there, drop a follow there, and go to 3 hours, three hours, because it's a 3.5 hour podcast, 3 hours, and he says it again. And if you want to hear it in a different way, you can get the book. It's on Audible, or you can actually buy the book and read it. It's a tremendous story, tremendous book, and I hope it brought you some value. I'm out. You already know the deal. Like and subscribe. All right? I'm out. Peace.